being feminine does not mean only soft qualities. Being feminine means completely different things. And here, within this definition, within this spectrum, you can find other aspects that maybe you cherish, maybe they are representative to you, maybe you feel some of them as being representative, maybe some of them not. But definitely you will find a better way of understanding your own femininity. Let's dive in. The first myth is that femininity is about being put together. And me, here, I am put together because I have to film. But other than that, I can't wait to get into my pajamas and, I don't know, take off my makeup and Netflix and chill. And that would be my way of nurturing and being in my feminine part today. And usually, lately. There's nothing to trigger me, there's nothing to activate me, and there's nothing to, I don't know, plump me and be in other parts of myself and my feminine. But other than that, femininity is about being melted, is about being in a place of state of being in which you perceive differently, in which you feel differently. And let me tell you something. There are different states in which femininity can be. Like water, literally. If you take water, for example, I mean, not for example, literally the water, you can find water in, I don't know, maybe in the icebergs, at the North Pole, in the bottle that you're drinking, in the ocean, outside in the lake, and each and everyone is the same. And you can find water also in the steam, also frozen, also not frozen, also warm, and or whatever. And whatever the state of the water, it's the same, the state of the feminine being. Or better said, the feminine part, okay? Because feminine part and femininity is about being in exactly the same states as the water, but, in a different road. It's not water itself, but it can be. And things get juicier here, because if we talk about, for example, about sensuality and sexuality, definitely is literally water, like warm, juicy water that is released even, okay? I lost my track because I am thinking about who am I to think about this, to talk about this stuff online. And in my head, those things are so natural, okay? But when coming out of my mouth, I feel like, ooh, I said that. How is that gonna be perceived? Not necessarily how it is perceived, but it's like that's such a taboo, and I feel it, and I'm talking about it, so other people are feeling that too. Well, exactly like in the feminine, like the water, the feminine part has different states in which it can be. You can be bold, you can be aggressive, like a lioness, or like a mama bear, that's protecting everything that has to be protected, okay? And that's a state of femininity, when you literally get bold and you get assertive and you set boundaries and you are there to create and lead the way for everyone involved or included, or with you or for you or whatever. And you feel that not necessarily sharp, but in a shape that it's so well defined, okay? And that can be not only productive, but can be also very satisfying. You can have the energy for that as usual, or maybe in different moments in your life, but definitely is there, and that's not less feminine. Let's remember who are the greatest leaders, literally leaders, who is really nurturing, who is really showing a way, who is both, I don't know, taking care of the being and also showing the way. It's the archetype, is like the part of the feminine part. By the way, I'm not talking about the archetypes of the woman, even though you might find some correlations, but it's not what I'm talking about. It's about being in that fluid state in which you can literally touch every single note of this feminine register, whatever, I don't know, maybe in different parts of your life, or maybe you can feel a part that is way too representative for you, okay? but they are all feminine, okay? And this is the thing about femininity. We don't get it how it is. We think that femininity is about being that soft and gentle and generous, and that's right. But when you are really in that position, you won't feel it in this way. To be in a place in which you are generous and kind and loving, you need to be in a different state. If you do those acts just to, I don't know, perform, it won't do the trick, obviously. But in order to be like that without any kind of resistance and without any kind of boundary, let's say, you will have to live in a different way. And this part of femininity, this state of being of the feminine, can be there, okay? And this can be presented or experienced in different ways. And that's the thing, that's the part. This is the juicy part. When you feel yourself so filled with everything that is blissful, when you feel like you are melted, when you feel like you're loving everyone, when you feel like you are so full with everything that is juicy and beautiful and everything is there, you offer, and you won't think about yourself that you're generous, that you're, I don't know, like a presence, ineffable presence. You won't think about yourself in this way, because first of all, that thing won't matter at all, because what would matter would be your experience and how you feel it, and second, that doesn't matter for a person who is really in the right mind. If you think that you being generous counts that much, whoa, that's something there. Let's dive in what's there. But that's your job, okay? So that's the thing. When you feel like when your femininity is in that part in which is like overly giving and so ineffable presence, you are feeling and you're living a different experience. You are feeling alive, and most of all, you feel like you are one with everything. You will feel like life pours and goes and flows through you, and you will feel that you are so filled with love. And this is different, is a different state of being than being like that bold, assertive, and I don't know, opening doors to women who I talked before. It's just both feminine. It's femininity in both of them, but it's in different shades. And maybe you will encounter some time in your life in which, yes, you are bold and assertive and you, I don't know, you're fit and you're doing well and you're in the right shape, in the right time, and you're dealing with it. And at the same time, you can be, after some time, in that fluid, in that juicy and sweetness state of being in which you are flowing and everything is flowing around you. And that is also rewarding. Now, those are both feminine traits, because maybe there is even another state in which femininity can exist, and that part can be also this one. Maybe you are a person who is supporting everyone, and is a mother and is a teacher and is like supporting everyone. It is pouring out of generosity and out of patience, out of brilliant intellect, and it's, I don't know, supporting everyone. Now, you don't need to put yourself first. You put yourself first if you want to, if you feel to, if you choose to, okay? If you feel like this particular perspective idea is not suited for you, especially for this kind of femininity, then don't do it. You do what fits for you, okay? And especially if you are in this part of femininity, you will find out that your most rewarded actions are the actions in which through which you support other people, and the moments in which you feel most rewarded are the moments in which you saw and you see and you notice and you experience the effects of your support for the other people, okay? So if this is your part of femininity, very, very good. That's so juicy, okay? And usually those are females or persons that are very, very involved in families and in communities and in supporting everyone. And that's also feminine part, And it has some good traits too, even though it comes with some good parts. Of course, it has good parts, okay? But this kind of energy is like creating or triggering in other people that they are not as bold, as assertive as they should be, but they are, you know. It's just that they are in their place and they are low, and that's okay, you know. So it's not something wrong with it, but it can trigger. Actually, both, actually, femininity will trigger any kind of judgment within, even within in the other females, okay, in other feminine parts, because it's kind of femininity you cannot unperceive. You cannot unperceive it. You must perceive it. Any kind of femininity is there, and it's bold, and it's there, and it's alive, and it's pulsating, you know, it's alive. And even in the feminine part, which are the feminine parts which are so soft and so ineffable and so supportive, they are triggering something in people, you know. Everything can trigger, and foremost femininity is triggering because we need to really reconsider our relationship with femininity. Whatever, if we are females or males or whatever our gender, whatever our orientation, because femininity is a force that lays in everyone. There's no human being that does not have a feminine part, you know, and that feminine part can be misjudged or misperceived or used in different ways, but in the end it's there, you know. Everyone in the human genome, you can find the chromosome X and Y, you call it Y, how do you call it, the X chromosome, there is in everyone, even in men, okay, and females has two, okay. So in the beginning, when we don't have our sexes developed in the uterus, in the mother's uterus, we are both a default female because we have that X, okay, and after that, yeah, we can develop and have male bodies, but we will still have that X chromosome, okay, as half of our genome. So that's the thing that is so important. Femininity will always trigger everything. And if you look back in history, it triggered, oh my god, especially in religion, because there's a certain truth over there. Next time, I wish you all the best. Please take care of yourself and enjoy your life. That's the best advice I can tell someone, especially me. Okay, bye bye.